Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector. This is a general or a collective reading, so take what works for you and just leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading. If you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That might give you further clarity as to your situation now. I did a quick meditation before this reading and picked the underlying energy from the oracle and from the tarot. So we have from the tarot the High Priestess energy. And the High Priestess is very, very intuitive. She sits in the throne by God, and she's in between these two pillars, which represent two extremes. And the two extremes are Jesus and the devil. And all this, whatever this is in the background here, I was going to say noise, this is talking about information. And so information equals energy. And so this is infinite potential, 100% to the power of infinity and beyond. So the problem is when we get that much information, and we do have so much information coming in these days, compared to even like 100 years ago, it's incredible how much information we have coming in. It can be overwhelming to sort through it. So it's important to get neutral to the information so that you can also use your intuition. Think about it logically, sort through it, and then use your intuition to decide, okay, which of these choices is the strongest for me to make, and then apply that choice logically. And you usually will have a much more creative solution than you would if you only use your logic. And then we have card number 20, Judgment. This is about having an unfettered heart. This is actually talking about the cosmic heart. Interestingly enough, the constellation of Sagittarius has a black hole in it. And the black hole, a lot of people feel, is the cosmic heart of the Milky Way. And so this energy is talking about judgment coming in. Judgment comes from the spiritual realm down to the physical, and then it's handled on a physical level after that. And this is talking about God's judgment and the cosmic judgment, the universal judgment of the heart. And we have, this is this dragon is representing the energy. Whoops, she's upside down. She's supposed to be upside right. There we go. So this is talking about God's judgment. God is the only one that's actually really able to judge human beings. We don't know what other people have gone through. Only God knows people's hearts. And so this is she's from the Pleiades, this dragon. And she also appears in the chakra dragons, but she's upside down. That's why I had her upside down. All right. So that is about coming from the heart. And then we have the energy of the pentacles. So pentacle energy is talking about health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world on planet Earth. The pentacle energy is actually the element of Earth, and pentacles represent the money as part of that. Of course, money is very important in the 3D and matters of Earth. But having said that, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living your best lifestyle. So this is talking about lifestyle. So, if you have all the money, but you don't have your health and you don't have love in your life, you're not going to be living your best lifestyle. This card, the Two of Pentacles, represents an energy of multitasking or being really busy. And so it's talking about, multitasking is a very good skill to have, but you want to be careful not to multitask to the point where you're multitasking so much that you have more quantity than quality work, and you end up having to do things over again. This is talking in the waves in the background here. We see a small ship on a small wave, and it progressively gets bigger. And that's talking about how we can end up being busy just for the sake of being busy without even realizing it. We just get so used to being busy that we keep adding to our plate until we're busy again. This card also is talking about juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. We have the Ten of Swords. Now, this is a very uncomfortable card. This is talking about definitely backstabbing, sabotage. And this person has been left for unalive. And yeah, so this is a really negative energy. This is talking, however, this person does have their right hand in the form of a blessing. And so this is talking that, this is a 10 card, so it's talking about an ending and a new beginning. And this card is representing, it could be like over a decade of energy in this way. It could represent, once a year something happening to you where you're sabotaged on an annual basis. This could represent one person 10 times. It could represent 10 different people, or even 10 groups of people. There is light at the end of the tunnel. This can represent an eclipse season as well. And so this is talking about, this is not someone kind of sort of doesn't like you. This is a calculated effort to take you down and keep you down. And so it's saying, if you've been going through that would be, we have judgment here and we have judgment here. So definitely this is what's being under judgment. And again, what I said about the judgment card from the Oracle is also the judgment from here. So this is God's judgment and cosmic judgment. And it's definitely something that is, the ancestors here are cheering because the trumpet's blowing here. And this energy, the ancestors may be watching from across the veil and be like, wait, wow, this needs to stop. This is a calculated effort to take someone out, basically. And this is talking about, they're cheering because the angel is blowing the trumpet. So this is like, finally something's being done. Sometimes this could even represent an energy that maybe the ancestors had something unfinished, and that's why you're kind of reaping the karma of their actions or inactions while they were still on planet Earth. And we have the descendants waving back and forth to each other. So this is talking about wanting justice, not just for you, but for the bloodline. And then we have an energy here of the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is talking about some sort of information or communication coming in. This is, the pages would work for the king and queen around 7 to 14. Back in those days, they had half the lifespan that we have now. So that sounds really young, but they quite often, it wasn't uncommon for people to be married by like the time they were 14, and be starting a family. So this energy is talking about a younger energy under the age of 21. And it could be a time frame for you where the information is coming in. It could be about something that happened when you were in elementary school or in high school or going into college, university, just getting out in the workforce. This energy can also, it's talking about the element of air. And so the swords do represent thoughts. So this here is the thoughts of other people in your back. And this is talking about information maybe regarding that. And again, the swords are double-edged here. So this is talking about using your intuition and your logic so that you can come to more creative solutions like the High Priestess does. So there's some sort of information or communication coming in. Now you notice this page, he's not looking at the sword, he's looking away from it. And he's the only one of the 4 pages that is looking away from the element he represents. That's because he's looking, he already knows the logical question. He's looking for a creative solution to the problem. And so he is looking away from the logic and looking towards the intuition, thinking outside the box to see if he can feel for an answer and then apply that logically, just as we were talking about here. This card sometimes can also represent an energy of, like, this is an aha moment sometimes where you'll just get like, I got it, I understand what's going on. It's that type of energy, like it just comes out of the blue. And this also, and this card can represent a breath of fresh air coming in, that something is going to be done. So we do have judgment. It's doubled up here. So this is talking about judgment being called for sure. From both the oracle and the tarot are both saying the same thing. And the communication in the old days would always be in person. That was the only kind of communication they really had. But these days, it could definitely be a phone call or a text message or something coming in the mail, documents, that sort of energy. It might even be, you might be getting an email, or you could be on social media on one of the many platforms and someone messages you there. You might have an event posted there that you go to and run into someone that has exactly the information that you need. Also, pay attention to what's happening at the top of the pyramid, because what's happening at the top of the pyramid affects everybody below to a certain degree. And it could give you some information about maybe some world event or something that's going on, and it might inspire some information coming into you, or a direction to look for some information. This is talking about the Emperor energy. So the Emperor is basically, he is a very high performance person, quite often an authority figure. He's at the top of his game. He actually embodies the qualities of all 4 kings from the minor arcana rolled into one person. And so he wears his armor underneath his robe, and he is ready at a moment's notice to grab an opportunity or to make some shift happen if need be. And as I said, he could be an authority figure that maybe is, because once the judgment comes from the spiritual realm, then it comes down to earth. And this energy of the Emperor showing up is talking, I feel like this could be an authority figure. That sometimes this could represent someone that you would go to for advice as well. But this would be someone who's considered to be very wise, and also, would have authority, and might, if he doesn't have the authority, he most likely knows someone who does have the authority. If you're looking to have someone look into things, this card can sometimes represent an investigation is happening, that there's technology being used legally or illegally, of hidden cameras and hidden microphones, that sort of energy. A private detective, an investigation happening, all sorts of energy here. So it could be from the people that are doing this, or it could be an illegal investigation, or it could be one that is actually from the courts, and from law and order, and the court systems that we have. And so this is talking about the rebel with a cause. The rebel with a cause represents the energy of passion, passionate action. He represents the element of fire, and his wand is made of wood, and wood does fuel the fire. He's got this big red plume on the back of his helmet, and that's representing, he can be he's a fire sign, so he can be very impulsive. And it shows also like how this horse is rearing up. It really wants to go. The horse represents heartfelt energy and passion. But he has learned to rein his emotions in and discipline his mind. So he makes strong choices. Instead of like reacting to what's going on around him, he responds to it. And so that's why now he's not just a rebel, now he's a rebel with a cause. And the pyramids in the background there represent his love of adventure, exploring the world, getting out there. I mean, he'd be responsible for traveling through kingdoms and also protecting the palace, etc. And when the pages were young, if they stayed with they were doing a really good job, and they would be continuously get more and more responsibility given to them. And when they were 21, if they could afford a horse, they might even be accepted for knighthood. So that would be this Knight of Wands is in that energy. Also, this has been coming up, this card has been coming up a lot in my readings just in the last week or so, and I feel there is a reason for that. I just want to remind people, like back on February 17, we moved into it was the Chinese New Year, and we moved from the year of the snake into the year of the fiery horse energy, and it's very, very similar to this energy. This is Sagittarius energy, but very similar to the fiery horse energy. And the danger with the fire horse energy is being impulsive and like reacting, like I said, like not reining your emotions in, just impulsively acting out emotionally, without controlling that. And it's not beneficial energy in the year of the fiery horse to do that. It usually isn't in most cases, but in particular this year, it's not a great idea to go out there and, be tweeting all over the place. And then you find out, oh, it was AI. It's that sort of energy. And so it's like, also, if you've ever seen a horse or ridden a horse that gets spooked and then it runs and it grabs the bit in its teeth, you don't have any control over that horse anymore. And it can run for miles very fast, and all you can really do is hang on and pray that it doesn't go into traffic, or like that you don't get seriously hurt. And even if you don't get seriously hurt, by the time it tires out, you could be very, very far off course where you were. And it's saying that, watch out for that kind of energy. And also, this energy makes people really ambitious, like wanting to have high goals, which is really, really a positive thing in many ways. But it's saying, again, don't get into this energy where you're so busy that you don't have, like you set your goals so high that it keeps you like you're constantly, in a loop of doing, and you can't get caught up, because that could burn you out and then cause you not to get to the finish line. So it's talking about using this really passionate energy in a sensible way. And then we have the Lovers card. So the Lovers is talking about a divine couple energy. The sun is shining on this. So this is saying that, just like the angel here, there's an angel here saying this divine love is coming towards you if you are in the mood for that. If you already have a partner or something, it can be talking about a resurgence of passion in that energy, in that relationship. This is talking about if this is someone new coming in. Excuse my cat. She's kind of being difficult right now. She has been, she wants to go outside, and she can't go outside without her harness on because we're on a balcony, and now it's nighttime, so she can't go out anyway, but it's summer and she wants to go back out again. So she's being a little bit obnoxious. But I mean, it's a beautiful evening, but she's not going out there without me watching over her. So she's just going to keep coming back and trying to bug me to take her out. So this is talking about the if these two lovers are meeting, if this is a divine couple, it would be most likely someone that you have not met before, or if you have met, you haven't had a relationship. This isn't someone that you've broken up with because they treated you badly or whatever. This is someone that God is sending in. The thing is, when God sends you someone, it could be very different from your usual type, just because maybe your usual type doesn't, end up working out that well. So this is someone new. Yeah, because I got this energy of maybe in the past you've walked away, or someone has walked away from you in a matter of love. That's what this card is talking about. There's 8 cups here, and there's only 10 in the tarot. So this is after having put a lot of time, money, energy, investing in someone or something, that you have, you're now walking away, or they have walked away from you. And this is talking about, there's 5 cups lined up, but then we have 2, a gap, and a third cup. So sometimes this can be talking about a third party energy. It doesn't have to be romantic though. So the Lover's card in the old days, if it's like not love that you're looking for, and this sometimes could represent just who you allow in your inner circle. Who do you choose to allow in your inner circle? And it could be saying then that judgment is being called on the people here. Like, we have, this energy could be something that you're walking away from people that you love. And it doesn't have to be a romantic person. It could be people, friends, family, that type of energy, peers. And this sometimes can be something you're walking away from that you love to do or be. So, it could be you love a hobby and you have to give it up, or you love traveling and you can't do it anymore, or you love your career, and this energy has made it so that you can't, because generally with this, there comes a lot of sabotage in your reputation, and so that it's challenging for you to get the work that you used to be able to do. And this is talking about the full moon and the new moon again. Now, we did have a new moon as I'm doing this reading. It was in Gemini on the 14th, and this is coming out on the morning on the 16th. So we still are in that energy of the new moon. It's in Gemini. And really, the new moon in Gemini is talking about, Gemini is very logical, but opposing that energy across the wheel is the Sagittarius energy. And whatever your sign is opposite of you on the wheel, it can talk about, like that sign will feel things the same way you would. So Gemini is all about the logic, and Sagittarius is about knowledge through intuition more. So it's actually a really good combination, and it's a really good energy for really being in an energy of a lot of different opportunities for you to really reach personal goals, or to set them at least, and then start working towards them. It's kind of that type of energy where you might be getting a lot of ideas right now. Hey, I should do this. I could do this. Like if you've been in this energy and you're saying, okay, maybe you're actually decided to walk away from like where you live. Like this can represent like wanting to move, to move on and not hang around with the same people, etc. And then we have, I've got my deck. I'm just going to switch it back around so I take them off properly here. This is talking about the pentacle energy again, and we have 7 pentacles here. And this person is saying like, I don't get it. Like, this is someone who's quite successful. This is representing you're quite successful. I mean, this is definitely, if you think about the 10 of Pentacles being the most, that would be billionaire, trillionaire energy. And then you think about the 9 of Cups or 9 of Pentacles, that would be like multimillionaire. 8 would be millionaire, and this would be like around 700K. So it's not a small amount of money. And this is talking about being in the he's in this energy where it's talking about this is the love part, and this is the money and the lifestyle part. And so both of these are like being disappointed and walking away. In this one though, he's trying to figure out like what I'm so like I've put 6 pentacles of energy, time, money, and energy invested in this project or whatever this is, and I only have this 1 pentacle, and I should have way more in return. And he's used to being successful, so he's like trying to figure it out, like like, is there something I could do differently? Is there something I'm doing wrong now? What am I missing? And it might be this energy, like you may not know that this is happening behind your back. And, until the judgment is called and the information comes into you. Right now we have, like this could be an investigation and some information being gathered. And when you receive it, then it's kind of like, oh man, I got to walk away from these people, and no wonder I'm missing money. And now you're in, probably in court. It's that type of energy. We have the star energy. This is saying you're meant to be, a star. Like this is talking about if you're following your North Star energy, your North Node. It's saying you're on your destined path. And each and every one of us has our own special qualities that no one else has in the order that we have it in the combination we have it in. And so this is talking about being part of God's divine plan and bringing that energy from the heavens down to earth. And we do have a Pleiades dragon here, and we have the 7 stars here represent the 7 Pleiadians. And there was a tale about, the Pleiades sisters. Basically, they say that they were princesses or goddesses. No, I think they were nymphs or whatever. I can't remember exactly. I'll have to look it up, but you get the idea. They were nymphs, or they were a princess energy. And when something happened, and they all expired, and so they ended up being thrown into the stars, into the sky in honor. And they were they made up the stars of the Pleiades, and they're said to run the time, so that they're dancing in the sky to run time. And so this is talking about, keeping the wheel of fortune moving. And so this is one of the Pleiades sisters, and it's represented here. And then this is talking about this energy here. So this is also talking about God's judgment coming in. And it's sitting right on here on this star energy. So I feel like, this energy is talking about you being able to add your own special qualities to the universe, and then you're pouring it out onto the land. And this is, you notice there's 5 streams here, and that is representing the pentacles here, the points on them. And so this is talking about you're meant to be bringing all your knowledge in and using it and having a lot of success. So definitely something is going on, and it's talking about this here, this energy. And look we have another 8 here now. So this is talking about passionate actions being taken. Now, this is talking about you might be launching something new. And, we have this energy, which I said is very much Sagittarius. The Sagittarius energy, if you think about the centaur aiming his arrows and trying to hit the target in the celestial sky, it's tung, 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 tung. They're all landing in perfect order. And this is talking about, I feel that when this information comes in and judgment is called, you'll be back in this energy, and you'll be launching new products. Or projects. I said products, so maybe it has something to do with products for one of you. And then this can also talk about all the energy that has been, all the actions that have been directed towards you. People have been very busy trying to keep you down. You don't stay down very easy because you're used to success, and you haven't given up. That's what this is saying. You'll walk away from people if you have to stay on your path. And then, disappointment in love. So I was wondering about that. If this is, with this card, this can talk about conception. And if there was a third party energy, it could even be saying, like, we have 3 cups here. And we have these 2 cups with a gap, and then, in between here. So this could be talking about, a third party energy, and maybe even someone got pregnant, and not in your, not in the couple, but through the third party energy. Sometimes that's when these come together, it could have something to do. This represents conception as well as launching of a project. And sometimes this card can also, if it's not about that, it can be about someone that you've given 3 chances to. Now that could be in love, or it could be in, family, friends, business partners, etc. And they're asking for a fourth chance, and you're saying, no way, I'm done. 3 strikes, you're out, which is fair. I mean, people generally do show us exactly who they are the first time around. And, giving them another chance sometimes is, yeah, okay. But not if they've left you like this. You don't want to be giving someone another chance to do this to you. So the other, this could also represent doing your best to launch something 3 times and you've been disappointed in the results every time. And maybe that's why this person's like, I'm exhausted from this project. And it was something you really cared about and you don't want to walk away from it, but you're like, well, maybe I need to here. But the universe is saying, no, it's a good idea. It just, was the circumstances, and it's partly this, it's sitting right on this energy here. So trying to convince you, take this cup and give it another go here. It's going to be different this time. Kind of reminds me, though, in the old days, the Peanuts cartoons, that Lucy and Snoopy, it would be Charlie Brown. Lucy would hold the football for him to kick, and at the last second she would always pull it away, and he would always give her a chance, and she would always do it to him. And then he'd be flat on his back, and everybody would be laughing at him every year. Like for years that was happening. It's not really funny, but it's reminding me of this energy here. I never liked that part of the cartoon. So this energy is the Hierophant, and this is talking about this blessing in disguise. So it's the Hierophant's job after judgment comes down from God. This can represent religious figures in your church if you're a religious person. It could represent, Pope, Cardinal, Bishop, rabbis, gurus, that sort of energy, whoever is in charge of your church. This could also represent, if you're more on the spiritual level and you prefer to connect without the intermediary to divine energy, then you are, it's through meditation and prayer. And then we also have that energy coming down to the physical, traditional systems on the planet that are responsible for bringing law and order to the world throughout all the countries. And so this is talking about court systems, something coming, the judgment. I mean, there's a lot of judgment, the Hierophant. We have this energy here, which clearly is wrong. We have this authority figure. So there's a lot going on here. We have the Queen of Cups. So this energy is representing, quite often, it can be representing someone that, this could be about love, and sometimes it's about your maternal bloodline. And the Queen of Cups is someone who is a very maternal, and it's talking about, as I said, sometimes the maternal bloodline. It can be talking about DNA, that kind of energy, adoption, things like that. There's an energy also of she has this cup in her lap, and the cups do in tarot represent romantic love, all kinds of love. And this is, hers is like a trophy. So it's saying like, she's, the most traditional of all the queens, and she would be most likely to be married in a traditional marriage. This is talking about like, for her, family is like her trophy, and she's proud of it. And she has a lid on her on her cup, and it's talking about her being a container of unconditional love. So this sometimes does represent your mother, your grandmother, great-grandmother, and the DNA in the bloodline from the women. This is talking about Ace of Swords is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. So there's some sort of truth that's coming in, I feel, and that's what this reading has been about with all the judgment in that. And this is something that you would say in a court of law. So there's quite a bit of energy around legalities here, and possibly some missing money and lifestyle, We have judgment twice. Sometimes this can talk about skeletons coming out of the family closet. Like, sometimes you'll find out if you go back in your history that you don't realize it. But I had a great grandmother or grandmother that was adopted, and I didn't know that until I was you know, until she, at her funeral, I think, is when I found out. And she lived to be 100. So it's that, you know, I had no one ever mentioned it. And so it's that kind of information that is, you know, interesting, like when it comes up. So it could be things like that. But the truth is coming out, and this is a reward. When the truth comes out, then you are way better off for making strong decisions, because the decisions you make are coming from the truth. And we do have this is coming up. This energy keeps coming up in my readings lately. So someone in the collective is really, I feel it's more than someone. I feel like this energy, there's a lot of truth wanting to come out right now. And we had, like, as I said, we just had that new moon, and it was in Gemini. And we also have Uranus in Gemini. And I've been mentioning this every reading because it's been coming up a lot. And Uranus hasn't been in Gemini since 1941 to 1949, which was really through World War II and the aftermath of it. And we haven't had that energy since then, and we have it now. And we're going to have it for the next 7.5 to 8 years. And really, the bottom line, I mean, you can go back and look at my astrological readings if you want, around the end of May, the beginning of June, beginning of May as well. I talk about it in more detail, but basically it's saying that, you know, there's some truth coming in, like, and we're seeing this in the news, like things that have been percolating in the back for, like, generations and generations, decades and decades. All of a sudden now, like, people are, there's justice coming in for people from situations that happened so long ago. So we have that energy. And then we have the Page of Cups coming through. So the Page of Cups is talking about maybe a love offer coming in, because we do have that energy. Where did we have did we have any love energy coming in here? Yeah, the Lovers. What am I thinking? So the Lovers, but it's way down here. And so I feel like this is talking about you, once you walk away and you figure this energy out and you start, like, moving forward in this newer energy, then you find out, okay, maybe what happened back down here. Like, it's like you have to move forward without knowing. So don't sit around and wait. Oh, I'll wait till the truth comes in and then I'll decide whether or not I go out on a date with this person. If this is talking about, there is possibly someone who has their eye on you. And this most definitely could be the Emperor, because that's the one figure we have here, other than the Queen of Cups. And so this could be talking about this energy coming in now. And I feel like it could even be that this person is connected somehow to bringing in the truth of what happened here. And then maybe you fall in love. This is someone who's had their eye on you. And like this card too, like, it's kind of like the Page of Cups is talking about, like, he knows there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he's really got his eye on this fish. So it could be that you're the Emperor in energy for some of you, and you've got your eye on someone, and maybe you have been empowering them in this situation, and now you're finally coming to the truth. And it's almost like, okay, this person is ready, maybe to go on a date now. They're back up and healing, that sort of energy. This is talking about, sometimes this can be online dating, but I don't feel like it is in this case. I feel this is something that comes in, and it's like, you don't even need to go online dating. It's something from looking into this situation. I feel something comes out of it. And like, this could be someone that has their eye on you because they're a detective and they know something, and they're making sure that this doesn't happen again. Like, maybe they are watching people, maybe there's like, if they're watching because they're trying to catch the people that have been doing this. I do not feel that this is the first time they've done this. Like, I feel that this is a common thing for them. Some people earn their living doing this type of work. So, you know, there could be an energy there. And look, we have the 6 Pentacles coming up again here now. And this is talking about, this sometimes represents breadcrumbing energy. So, you know, it's kind of like this 6 of Pentacles, like if you get, this person's giving to charity, because they planted seeds and they did very well with this energy. They're giving to this person, but they're not giving to this person because they're holding the scales of justice above the head here, because this person has something in their pocket already. And so this sometimes is talking about someone who wants to risk your money, not their own. And this can talk about breadcrumbing, and maybe there's been some sort of energy coming out of your pocket that way. And we have the Fool rushing in. So this is, look at this night's energy in comparison to this night. You see the difference there. This person is like pressing the panic button. Sometimes this can represent an investigation. And again, this is the Page of Swords, older now. So this is talking that this has been going on since you were a child. Interesting. Like elementary school. So it could involve people that you knew back then in high school, elementary school, when you first started college, university. It could be that that energy. Or it could be maybe someone that you met 7 years ago, 14 years ago, 21 years ago. You know, this is the same person. So, you know, I mean, you could have known them in elementary school and not seen them since. So you wouldn't even recognize them, you know. So it's, you know, this could even be this lover energy coming in. Maybe this Emperor that's working on the case, all of a sudden you find out, hey, we used to play in the sandbox together. So, but there's some sort of information, and it's like it's in a hurry. And quite often this can represent like a fool rushing in, or it's something that's like urgent. But, you know, the sword, we can only see half the sword, so he might only have half the information. And sometimes this can also be talking about someone who we can't see the point of his sword, and maybe he can't see the point of the information himself. There's a red flag on the back of his helmet. And look how stressed out his horse is. And this represents heartfelt energy and passion. And they're running through barren land against the wind. So this is like someone who's running away from something or running to something. And quite often this can represent spy energy, you know, like the technology that I was talking about here. Some, you know, like it could be legal or illegal. It depends on who's doing it. But this could represent an investigation again going on, just as I said down here. But this is something that's been going on from something that happened like up to 25 to 30 years ago. That's kind of wild. And then we have the Temperance energy. Yeah, you have been very patient if you've been in this energy that long. This Temperance energy is talking about being on your destined path and pouring your own alchemy. Very similar to this, but this is considered to be like an earth angel energy, whereas this is more galactic. This is talking about pouring your own special qualities in, and that you were sent down from the heavens. If this is you, this energy is talking, like all of a sudden there's all this noise outside here. Super loud. Rumbling. Really interesting. So this is talking about the energy coming in. She's doing the alchemy. This is talking about the energy of being on your destined path, and having like the sun here is talking that you're on your path of glory. And her right foot is in the water, adding her own special qualities to the water to the universal pool. And then notice where her left foot is grounded on earth. There's flowers growing. And so that's the job of the earth angels, is to make the world a more beautiful place and more fair. And then we have, look at this, we have this energy of soulmates coming in. Now, isn't this interesting? Is this the same person? This lover energy, or is this the person? Yeah, it must be. I feel that this is saying that this is someone that you know from when you were young. This could be someone that you were in grade 1 with, and then they moved or you moved or whatever. And it's saying like this is soulmate energy. You're destined to meet this person. But you had to, it's saying this energy is both galactic and it's earth angel energy. So one of you might be more galactic and another one more earth angel, which is a soul contract to come together in this life then. And look at, we have the angel wings here with the lion, and we have the Hermes symbol, which is representing communication from the higher self network, HSN. This is saying you are in direct communication with the Most High, and that you're destined to meet with each other. And this is talking about a soul contract, that you will empower each other. This is talking about being very stable in this energy. And so maybe you may have met this person in the past, and it wouldn't have to be way back when you were a child, but you may have met them in passing and you haven't seen them for a very long time now. And now they're at the Emperor energy. And like right now we have the Queen of Cups here. So this could be maternal energy, and it also could be your energy. Hooking up with this Emperor energy, who is actually your soulmate. Back here, there's the promise of this lover coming in. I would say that this could be a lover from your past that you walked away from, but I really don't feel it is. I feel like, because this is the sun shining on this. This is God saying, this is coming in for you. But first, I feel like it's saying, but first you need to know the truth about what happened back then in your love life. And the Hierophant, this is going to be a blessing for you, even if it's hard to hear. Something happened back then, and this is important information. You need to know this before moving into another relationship, basically. To be able to be free enough to be with a soulmate energy. And then we have, look at that. Normally this would be talking about having a closed mind, but I feel what this is saying is this energy is kind of like you're meant to be together. And normally I would read this as a closed energy, but this is definitely protecting your heart. But I feel like it might be talking about this energy coming in, and that it's this way or that way. If it wasn't sitting on this earth angel and these two, I'd say this is about a closed mind, but I feel that this is about having faith in God's choice for you, basically. For this energy coming in, because it's sitting at the top of the pyramid on the earth angel and the soulmate energy. So I feel like that is definitely, one is galactic energy and one is earth angel energy. So this would be a power couple, and that would be the energy that it's in. So from the bottom, this is about being really busy, multitasking. Someone could be, definitely there was juggling of morals here. But you being able to keep moving forward, I feel, and come out of the disappointment. This is you might not know about a lot of this, but there's been an investigation going on, I feel, because judgment's been called. It's here twice. It's representing the cosmic justice, God's just judgment, and the judgment of the courts of law, I feel, on the, whatever was done here. And this soulmate is coming in, and I feel that this energy is about, you had to get to a certain level, like galactic and earth angel energy coming together here. It's not at all how I normally would read this card, but just the way it's sitting, I feel like that's the energy. And then we have the Page of Cups, which is talking about this new love coming in. This person has had their eye on you, that you'll know the truth, the whole truth, and everything, and nothing but the truth. And this is, I do feel this is someone that you've met, but maybe you didn't recognize them as being a soulmate, or they didn't recognize you being you might have been really young, like you wouldn't have, but it's confirmation for you if you're wondering. And this is going to be very passionate. There's a lot of passion here, and it could be someone that is helping you out in this situation, because we do have the Emperor here sitting on that energy. Really interesting. I'm going to clarify this for those of you who want clarification. Let's see here. This is, again, this is from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. So it's not surprising there's galactic energy. The numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they're numbered in my oracle, and that is Tales from the Vector. So there's a gallery, talesfromthevector.com. I'll have this information in the box below. The numbers on these cards are actually representing how the paintings, how they're listed in that gallery. And I'll put them in the order they appear here. So if you want to take a look, you can. Don't be surprised if you see her twice. She's judgment straight up, and then from God, and then she's about your own personal heart chakra. And she's upside down, and it's representing the heart chakra energy. So we'll see if that comes in as well. We have destruction here. This is talking about, it's sometimes things have to just be like taken apart entirely to be able to get to the truth. And I feel like there's been a lot of juggling. Like, I mean, if this has been going on for a long time like this, this is, some people, when they see something that's pure or innocent, with a lot of promise, they don't like it. And they have to destroy, like search and destroy. And then we have the surrender energy. And this is talking about, it's sitting like on the ancestors. And so this is talking, it's cold in here. There must be something in the atmosphere. I feel that your ancestors have been trying to warn you in your dreams, and as such, that what's going on and who's doing it. And, maybe you have a pretty good idea, but you don't have the proof or all of the facts. And then we have the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So these people could be people that are smiling in your face, but they have negative intentions for you. And then degradation of energy. This can really talk about if there's a whole bunch of people piling up in this, you may have lost confidence and be feeling kind of degraded in your energy. But remember that if you've been staying to the best of your ability on your destined path, and you've been, turning to God for, source energy, when this blessing comes in, it's going to be in your favor. And the degradation doesn't really belong to you. It belongs to the people who would do this. Like, that's really intense energy. And this is, why would they do this? This is a karmic space as well as intention. It's when you give yourself total permission for your authentic desires, that's talking about you moving forward in this way so that you can be with your soulmate and being in this better energy. But if people this is saying that these people don't just want your money or your lifestyle. They want your destiny, basically. They think that they deserve it more than you, and they literally think that they are what God has decided for you, that they can choose to take it instead, and that that's going to be okay with God. So they might really have a warped sense here. Sometimes this energy can be coming in from traditional structures in churches. And, I'm like, it's just an energy. There's a lot of religions out there that can be very separate people in major ways because of all the rules and rituals that they have. And so when, and then they're using God's name to do so, and then saying that this is because God said so. And, I feel that, only God, that's what this is saying. Only God knows what's truly in people's hearts. And only God can really successfully judge people, because God knows what's in our hearts, and we don't know what other people have gone through, or what what their purpose here is when they came to this planet or on this earth. So it's a very it can be a real challenging energy. And we have the Aries coming in. There's a lot of planets moved into the sign of Aries in the last year, and this is causing a lot of new energy to come out. So just keep that in mind. It's about, sometimes if things aren't working, don't rely on the same old way that you used to do it. Tweak it a little bit, just do it slightly differently, and see if that doesn't make it work. Because it's mostly because of Neptune being... for 14 years, we've done things with Neptune in Pisces, and that's a very different energy. It moved into Aries about a month and a half ago. And it's about how we approach life and our idealism in that. And, it's totally opposite energy from what it was. So a lot of people are noticing, like, man, things just aren't working, the same way as they did. And this is sitting right on this energy. Maybe you just needed to... tweak it a little bit, do something slightly different, and then all of a sudden it becomes very successful. We do have the Empress energy to match the Emperor energy now. I feel that this is definitely saying that this is what, to become an Empress or Emperor status in Tarot, it's talking about someone who has gone through enough life experience and has had enough happen, and they still have managed to hold their head high, stay on their path, do the best that they can, and not give in to temptation to, cheat or lie or steal to have success, basically that type of energy. And so this is matching the Emperor's energy. So I do feel that that's clarifying that the Emperor is this individual coming in. This is someone that has, that he gets shift done. So if you're tired, it'll, he'll like that. There's no one like the Emperor to get shift done. So we have what's fun for some is not fun for everyone. And this is talking about that destruction and disruption. Yeah, if someone's having a third-party relationship and then gathering with a bunch of people behind your back to, take some pentacles from you while you're doing all the work, and then smiling in your face, and they might even be part of your inner circle, I'm sure they're having more fun than you without saying. It's probably likely. And then we have Mother's Worry. This card has been coming out again a lot, and I do feel it's because of what's happening on the planet. I know I just saw in the news that Iran and United States have come to some sort of an agreement. So hopefully that's true. That will help a lot to calm people down a bit if they can manage to do that. Say a prayer for that, because there's been enough suffering in this world. We don't need that kind of energy. It would be really awesome if they could come to a conclusion here and there could be some peace. That would go a long way to calming the whole world down, I feel. So I feel this is coming up because a lot of people call the Earth Mother Earth, and people are kind of concerned about what's happening. And look at this, we have the Gemini energy here. So again, and look we have the new moon in the background here. So, tonight might be, or when, the energy of the moon, we can really generally feel it for a good 3 days before and after. So in the morning, tomorrow morning, I'm going to be posting this early. And I will, you might want to sit in that energy a little bit if you have some time to put aside, even for half an hour or something. Just sit quietly and see what comes to you, because it's at the top of the pyramid here, and it's talking about being able to use your logic and your intuition together. And normally this would be like a closed mind, but I feel like it's just saying have an open mind, because the Emperor might be someone very different from who you normally would be with. And also, I feel this is talking about you wanting to take that time to go inward and meditate, or, you know, pray, and see if you can't come to some information coming into you about this. So a really awesome energy. I feel like there's a lot of promise in this reading, and there's been a lot of hardship, so it's due. And I'm sure you're ready for it. Just be aware that when horoscope signs come in, I'm not talking about individuals. It may show up in the reading for you. Oh no, Colette, it wasn't Aries. Like you have to use your intuition there. But I just want you to understand that my goal with these readings isn't to identify specific people, but more to talk about the energy of the sign, so that we can all learn from it. All right, I do hope this has been beneficial for you. Consider giving it a like and comment, a subscribe if you resonate, and I will be back with another tattletale for you again tomorrow. Bye for now.